Darkpress presents Speak of the Devil, a laid-back magical chat with Adam and Darian Darkly. Greetings, Darklings. I'm Darian.
And I'm Adam.
Thanks for joining us in bed tonight. That's literally where we record this show.
Our first question tonight is, what's the difference between white magic and black magic, Darian? What do you think?
I'm not personally a Satanist, but I have to quote the late great Anton LaVey here. White magic is supposedly utilized only for good or unselfish purposes, and black magic, we're told, is used only for selfish or evil reasons. Satanism draws no such dividing line. Magic is magic, be it used to help or hinder. The Satanist, being the magician, should have the ability to decide what is just, and then apply the powers of magic to attain his goals.
We're kind of flirting with some initiated secrets about magic here, and that we go into greater detail about in our Mechanics of Magic course at Darkly's School of Witchcraft. But it is pertinent to understand that magic itself is dependent upon polarity. Between the forces of light and dark, magic is born. The two pillars of the ancient Hebrew temple are depicted in the tarot. One white and one black. The way of the magician is between them, not hugging one or the other extreme. You can lean too far to one side or the other and lose yourself. Think of good and evil, light and dark, as poles of a battery, positive and negative.
On the lid of the Ark of the Covenant, which was supposed to be the throne of God, were two golden angels. In Jewish lore, one is an angel of light and the other of darkness. Good and evil personified, and the presence and glory of God manifest itself between them. This is a profound secret to the operation of magic in this world. Polarity creates a necessary tension in which magical power can manifest on the physical plane. To ignore one in favor of the other is to the detriment of your own personal power. The maintenance of this balance is a great reason for shadow work. Until you face down your own inner darkness, you may have an unhealthy fear of evil.
Good and evil are completely relative concepts largely hammered into human consciousness by the Church for the past 2,000 years. This is no more readily exposed than the simple fact that one man's God is another man's devil. I don't think it's possible or even necessary to expunge the use of the terms good and evil from our vocabulary, because they're so deeply ingrained, but we can have a healthier understanding of these concepts.
Nature, more specifically the animal kingdom, is our default for what really matters in this world. Animals recognize neither good nor evil among themselves. What they do recognize are severity and mercy. These are the true polar opposites that a wise witch walks between. Based on your temperament, you may lean more to one side or the other. Each situation you face may require you to apply more of one than the other. The world may even need you to be more one than the other to keep the cosmos in balance. But it is still wise, for your own good, not to become completely polarized to either light or darkness. If you must choose a side, choose your side. The only one you owe loyalty to is you. I personally believe that witches rise in the world at times when we are needed. Like the judges in the Old Testament, we restore balance. In the same way, I believe witches hold one another in check for the benefit of all.
We're all necessary to the order of things. The witch who chooses to do evil may be fulfilling their own divine will and purpose. This does not mean that the rest of us should stand silently by when one of us runs dangerously amok. There are always consequences to our actions, and we must weigh those carefully.
The key is conscience. Do not defy your conscience. Your higher self will reprove you if you do. You can, however, rewire your conscience to reflect new views and beliefs, and you should. It's a hallmark of personal growth. But sometimes these old thought patterns have to be challenged with conscious deliberation. This is why when some people leave Christianity behind, life seems to continue punishing them when they transgress against their old beliefs. They're still running on their former outdated operating system. You must rewire your conscience to match your new belief system. Then this will stop. This is precisely one reason why magic does not seem to work for some people. What you want now may be running up against an old belief that you haven't let go of yet. For a long time after leaving the church, annoyances would occur when I spoke well of myself. I always believed it was God chastising me, If I applauded myself for a great shot in a game, I would automatically miss the next shot. This is because my mind was programmed to self-deprecate because anything else was pride. Now I believe I'm a fucking goddess and I'm worthy to be praised. Haters be damned. Those weird little annoyances have stopped because I now recognize self-degradation as an unhealthy and bogus substitution for true humility. Humility is knowing who you are and feeling no need to prove it. Adam, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Sure. I find that once you begin to rewire yourself, your beliefs, even how you think, the next part is actually walking it. We all hear the saying, walk the talk. I find many people who endeavor to use magic or sorcerer's means to change their life may only get to step 1 or 2, yet falter, may be completely unaware of the 3rd step. Once you're doing the work, clarifying it all, you must embrace this new narrative, and then like stepping into a big old pair of boots, you must begin to carry this new narrative, this new you, into the world, unashamed and unshakable.
Our second question is, what are your thoughts on the law of threefold return and magic rebounding? Adam, would you like to start us off on this one?
For those who don't know, the law of threefold return is based on a modern bastardization of Aleister Crowley's one law for magical practitioners. Do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Some modern witches have made an addendum to Crowley's law. It reads, and it harm none, do what you will. The idea is that if you should work harmful magic, it will come back to you threefold. In some cases, all that you do magically, good or evil, is believed to come back to you 3 times. If you understand Crowley's original law, there is no need for an addition. He was not referring to acting upon every craven impulse without restraint or harming others in the process. He was referring to the magician's divine will, their highest purpose. The very idea that one may exercise their will without ever doing harm is illogical, and honestly, in my experience, I have seen it many times. And one example is, a client coming to me wanting, like a crown of success work to basically ensure that they, get this upcoming promotion that's going to mean, a much higher pay raise and much easier, job. Essentially, we'll do like a crown of success work, but they express that they don't want to hurt anyone involved or anything like that. And one thing that I explained to them is that, should you really want this, this work, this promotion, that essentially, anything that ensures your success to win out all over, other applicants to a job or even coworkers, and essentially, as the odds turn in your favor, even as the good news that the promotion is yours, you've inadvertently done harm as the other applicants or coworkers missed on an opportunity that they may really have needed. And honestly, stepping upon a bug on your path or suing someone, harm's done, directly or inadvertently. For me, the key is honestly intent, and this was what separates you from the real bad guys. Darian, have you ever had magic rebound on you?
I haven't had magic rebound, but I have had it go awry, or in some cases work too well. When I was new to my path, I worked a spell of multiplication on a goblet that I kept my change in, at a time when I had very little money. The spell did work for me. I kept finding money everywhere I went. I got a raise at work, and I even found money in my wallet that I know wasn't there before. However, I got the oil of multiplication that I made all over the lighter I used to light the candle for the spell. We had lighters running out our ears for weeks after that. Everyone who visited left their lighter. We found so many lighters in the couch cushions that we filled a large mixing bowl with them. In regard to the law of threefold return, I also wanted to mention that I have worked with dark powers to much positive effect. I once sent evil spirits to bring bad dreams of a ruined future to a client who was addicted to heroin. A mutual friend informed me that same night he had such realistic nightmares about the end result of his drug abuse that the guy checked himself into rehab. I saw him years later and he was still clean. You can use would-be evil magic redemptively. Some of us believe that when we employ an evil spirit to do good, it actually helps elevate that spirit. Everybody wins. I think a far better question for witches to be asking ourselves than if something is right or wrong is this wise? Perhaps it's far better for the world to think you're evil. Then you can continually astonish with kindly deeds and avoid any undue pressure to be good.
That's all the time we have for this episode, Darklings. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe on our Instagram and YouTube to stay up to date. If you'd like to learn more about witchcraft, check out Darkly's School of Witchcraft coming soon. Watch for new episodes of Speak of the Devil on YouTube every Saturday night. Our next episode is called Good Witch. We'll be continuing tonight's conversation by discussing some of the dilemmas facing light workers in the witchcraft community, how to avoid burnout, and is it morally wrong to charge for healing or magical services? Don't miss it.